Destiny, I know you're like me, a fellow Midwest boy. Does any part of you ever think you'll make it back to Omaha or anywhere in that region, or are you?
I get depressed just flying into that city. If my son didn't live there, I would never, ever go back. It is actually agonizing to be. I don't know why. This is going to sound really, I don't know, privileged or disconnected or something, but just like, I feel like there's just like nothing for me that exists there. Like in terms of like everything that I do online, like the things that I'm interested in, the issues I talk about, like who my friends are.
You're an internet being and you still feel like this physical location has nothing for you.
Not, yeah, it's just like when I'm flying into Omaha, like I'm looking at the whole city, like what is there for me here in this entire city? There's literally nothing.
What's in Florida?
Yeah. Miami just seems like a cooler place. My wife likes to be here. I have some friends down here that I know personally.
I mean, weather, that's huge.
Well, I came from LA, which has like perfect weather, so it's hard to compare to fucking Miami. But
did you own a place in LA?
No, always apartments. I own a house in Omaha where my kid and my kid's mom live in, but.
Roger that. Yeah, I would just because real estate's so insane. Like, I bet if you had a place in LA, it would have grown to like half your net worth.
Yeah, maybe. Real estate is
the
that's something that we haven't figured out yet in the United States. We're getting pretty close to having to do something about that.
Yeah, dude.
Is it going to crash again, like 2008?
Well, I don't know what it's going to do, but it maybe. In Raleigh, they're like it takes 40% more money to buy a place now than it did a year ago.
The problem is that like. Before when it crashed, okay, everybody says that it's going to be like 2008 again. The problem before was that mortgages, through a whole bunch of weird tricks, got like plugged into all of these like international investment markets that just drove the fucking demand for these types of like financial products, mortgages and shit up insanely high. The issue now, though, is that slowly over time, what's happening is there is genuinely a massive fucking demand to live in cities. That's not artificial. Like some of the prices have probably been driven up because of a combination of inflation, a combination of some supply chain stuff, a lot of which has been resolved. But I think like people keep looking for like these ways, we got to build affordable housing or we need to like raise the interest rates. You can try to do tricks like that, but we need like to genuinely overhaul how we do zoning in the United States because there's more people that want to live in places than there are houses and the costs are just going to continue to go up. There's no way to get around that. It's like a physics problem. Like,
but the people don't want to live in the kind of houses that you just proposed, right? You're like, you change the zoning. And what he means is change from like low and medium density housing to high density housing.
Yeah, like Americans need to get over themselves and learn how to live in fucking high density places because it is a 7 trillion times higher quality of life. And until they figure that out, they can starve on the fucking streets and be fucking morons. It's so
unbelievable. That quality of life thing is a matter of opinion. There are people who would be like, I'd rather drive 40 minutes to my house with a yard and a swing set than drive 15 minutes
should be able to
my
do
apartment.
That. Then yeah, they should drive 2 hours out of the fucking city to go live where they want. But actual cities should be actual cities. In the United States, like it's true here. It was true when I lived in Glendale. It was true when I lived in Culver City. It was true when I lived in Huntington Beach. I should not be in a high density place that has like a fucking 10-story apartment or whatever, and I can walk across the street and see these dilapidated shit fucking houses that are going for $850,000 a pop because the zoning is fucked. That's unbelievable to me. If you want to zone for some single family housing and ruin your shit, you can do it. But like there needs to be way more ultra high density like places in the United States because it makes public transit work better. It makes retail work better. The places you can actually walk, like if you go to Europe, you can walk anywhere. Anytime you're in an apartment, like, oh, if I need to get some milk in Europe, I'm like, oh, I'll be right back, Melina. I'm going to go downstairs and get some milk. If I need to do in the United States, like I got to get my grocery list. I got to go down to my fucking car. I need to drive 15 minutes away. I got to do a whole fucking ordeal. Like it is so agonizing.
You ever go on the cities?
I mean, that's more of a civil planning thing. So like,
that's a car thing. No, but you're talking about the subreddit fuck cars.
that's part of it. They talk about that shit, but yeah.
Yeah, this is the whole front page of that. Because if you eliminate cars and the infrastructure to facilitate them, then like life just improves so dramatically.
Does it really? If you live in the suburbs, well, like there's no way for me to walk to the store comfortably.
What they're saying is you can get rid of the suburbs and just create more density.
Or like move.
So I have to lose all my room in my house and live in an apartment.
Well, no, we're not saying. I don't think the fuck cars people want to like.
Okay, cars. Well then fuck that plan. Fuck you. No.
I think what they want is for there to be no cars in the cities.
Okay, well they can have no cars in the cities while they're getting beaten up and murdered at high rates. Like, and I obviously am biased because I live in St. Louis, which is the most dangerous city in the country.
Do you live in Don't answer this if you think it's the wrong question. Do you live in the St. Louis city or do you live in a nearby place?
No,
he's down.
I lived in St. I lived in St. Louis
every day
for 2 years, a couple of years ago, up until the very end of 2018, and then I bounced to the suburbs, and I like it a lot more.
I just because like I have a Raleigh address, but you guys probably everyone's seen my house from the Google Maps. Like even though it's a Raleigh address, it's not really densely popular.
Same thing, yeah. Like I could get mail delivered to me with a St. Louis address, but I am not near the city. Like I'm not at all.
No, I'm
by design. And I mean, St. Louis is definitely different than some of these other cities he's talking about. Like St. Louis is a third world hellhole downtown, and that's not exaggerating. Like it's.
I remember
I know a lot of my friends now that none of us have ever been like, oh, be careful. But now it's like, damn, if I go to the cards game, I gotta stay in Ballpark Village, otherwise it's too scary.
There's
weird
a
lot of U.S. cities that have these problems. Go ahead.
I'm a world away from places that are 6 miles away. Like whenever I see like murders and shit in the news, they're not far from me by paramotor. Like it's a very different environment from like my yard and my neighbors. Like they all seem like nice people, but it's not that far. Like I am in Raleigh. So what were you saying, Destiny?
I was just saying I would get so mad like in 2015, 2016, because this is when I'm debating like white nationalists and shit. And they're always like, you got to look at some of these cities and how dangerous they are in fucking Germany and Sweden. And like there has been like an increase in crime or whatever, but it's like, okay, bro, but like, have you ever been to LA or Chicago or fucking Seattle or Miami or like any of these like major US cities? Because dude, they're like, it is another level of insanity in the United States for how dangerous some of these places are.
Yeah.
Like I remember going to some European cities, like I'll ask friends, and I still do this, I'm a fucking American, I'll be like, are you ever worried about like getting shot here? And like, getting shot? What the fuck are you talking about? We're not in fucking Russia. You're not gonna get fucking shot.
No, we're gonna get stabbed,
like,
idiot.
Yeah, you get stabbed. Yeah, but hey, listen, I'll take my chances against some dude across the street with a knife versus some dude with an AR-15 that comes in and decides he wants to kill white people. Okay, listen. But like, yeah, I don't know. We're in a really sad state of affairs for a lot of U.S. stuff. And the thing that bothers me is I know we can do better if we could recognize that there was a problem so that the political will would exist to fix it. But we're just not there right now. And it's very frustrating to me that I go to like, I remember in 2013, I lived in Warsaw for 3 months and I'm thinking like Poland, shithole country. Obviously it's Poland. And dude, in 3 months in Warsaw, I never needed a car ever, a single time. I could ride the tram and the buses. Even like looking at the maps without speaking the language. I got around that entire city. I never felt like I needed a car ever. And I could everything was accessible. Nice. Everything in Europe is so much nicer. Or like trains, like I can go from two places that would be like a 3-hour flight and go to the airport. I can take a train for like $60 to go from 2 hours, and it's like the easiest, nicest ride ever. And like, I don't know. There's American cities are very, very, very frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, but it's almost like, what is to be done about it? Like at this point, so many things have been built up in the suburbs, like that. Most people prefer to be built out to be living further away.
I have a good time. I drive into the city. You get right to like everything's so concentrated, and then I drive out of the city and I go home, and it's great. It's perfect.
Yeah, I like the suburbs too. It's great. I have a giant home gym in my basement. It's safe as hell. I have to drive everywhere, and if I want to go to the city of St. Louis, it's quite a drive to see a Blues game. But guess what? I don't fucking go to St. Louis very often because it sucks. Like that's why I don't go. It's not necessarily because of the crime or anything like that, although that does play a part when you're talking about a city like St. Louis. But it's just that the crime has driven out all of the fun stuff out of the city, other than Busch Stadium with Ballpark Village right there. Like that, they have like an area with bars and stuff, and that's literally it. It feels like a few years ago they built Ballpark Village to be like, hey, you can go to fun bars and stuff right from Busch Stadium where the Cards play. And you cannot leave that area. You can just stay right here the whole time. And now, like, that area is getting dangerous. There was a murder in the middle of Ballpark Village like 2 weeks ago. A guy was watching a sports game and got shot in the head. Like, what? It's a horrible place to live. And I don't want to be here.
I remember that stupid fucking... Do you remember that stupid fucking Seth Rogen tweet? Where he tweeted out, Casey Neistat tweeted out something about how he got robbed in LA, and he just got so pissed off, and I would get pissed off getting robbed. And Seth Rogen tweeted out, like, oh, well, I've been robbed like 15 times. I don't know. I don't think it's really a big deal. Like, I've never felt violated. Like, bro,
what?
I hate you so much.
I'm just worth $60 million. I don't mind getting robbed. Shut up, bigot.
What an unbelievably fucking stupid fucking... I hate these people. But